Thank you. Thank you very much. You just saved Obed's understanding of the region's politics and going all the way to the Caribbean. It makes him feel great because he books a lot of flights but never get into them. That said, Marcia, you have so much interest in the country called Kenya. Looking at your works, I've been able to realize that you have not just covered the Kenyan situation after it erupted, especially the June 25th, slightly a month or a week into the month of July. You hosted a guest that is Kenyan called Nathan Baraza in one of your very great shows. And you were discussing about the Occupy Playground, which is a story about the Langata Road Primary School, which a few years later, you highlight a story of occupying parliament. And that makes me wonder, why so much love for Kenya? Do you know somebody more than we do?
Well, I tell you, as I said, what really generated the interest, it's what we saw was happening on the streets of Kenya. And we saw some similarities as we listened to the Kenyans and what they were saying. We saw some similarities with our prime minister. In fact, Ruto had been to Barbados, and we had seen just his relationship with our prime minister and his relationship with the U.S. President Biden at the time. And on our show, even before you had the June 25th uprising last year, we were making the comparison. So for some reason, we were watching Kenya and we were just, saying, wow, he's just as absent as our prime minister. She's always on a plane, with these elites and all over the place. We hardly saw her. And then we saw that you guys were making memes about Ruta, so we were following it from that perspective. But then when the uprising started, is when we got hold of someone in the UK, and that person connected us with Odim Wengu, who's on the call right now. And so we said we want to hear about what's going on in the streets, because we couldn't believe that young people would be so concerned about their country and talking about a bill. In Barbados, we don't have young people who would be so interested in what is happening politically or even economically in the country. They're into their phones, and just into popular culture, etc. So we were very, very mesmerized by that and inspired by that, and wanted to know, is it really true? Are these, we're seeing the young people, but are they really young? And so someone connected us with Odimwengu, and, we had him on our show. Now we have to understand the time difference, because what happened was that our show starts at 7 p.m., which I think that's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So Odimwengu had to wake up at that time to come on to tell us about what's happening in Kenya. And he did that a couple of times, because we would see stuff on YouTube, but we really wanted to know the truth. And people were locked on from Trinidad and Jamaica and Guyana. They were locked on, wanting to know what's happening to their Kenyan brothers and sisters. So, in a nutshell, I think we were first drawn to it because of the similarities we saw between Ruto and Mia Mottley, and the friendship that we saw between them. And then
Thank you.
we
So,
got inspired
n-
from the
ne-
Gen Zs. Yes, sir.
thank you, Marcia.